Owen would literally spill his semen on the ground every time he had intercourse with Tamar. That is how Tamara slept with her father-in-law. It's better known as Lelo, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time joining me, hi, welcome. I hope at the end of this video do the right thing by clicking the subscribe button below. And if you are a return subscriber, hi, how y'all doing? Yes, as you can see by the title, today I am back with season 2 of Makeup and the Bible. If you're interested in that, let's get into this video. Yes, it's been a hot minute since I have done one of these. If you don't know what Bible and the Makeup is, basically it's me narrating one of the craziest, unbelievable Bible stories. They are while I do my makeup, keeping in mind that I know nothing about makeup. I am just an amateur makeup person. Okay, so I'm just gonna try to, you know, put together a look that's quick and simple and while keeping you entertained. We have covered, I think we've covered a Sodom and Gomorrah story. We have covered Goliath and David. What else did we cover? I don't know, but I think this year I'll be doing more of these. So that's why I'm calling it season 2, because it's the first one in a long time. Without wasting any time, let's get into this video. Remember, I am not taking you through what I am doing to my face. I am just narrating the story. Okay, good. My face is washed. I've already taken my bath. It's washed and prepped and ready to go. So today's story is found in Genesis 38. My thing about Makeup in the Bible is that the whole point of this is to encourage you to go and read the Bible for yourself, because there is really no point of me coming here sharing the story but you won't go back and do the work on your own, right? So the story is titled Judah and Tamar. So Judah and his wife decided, okay, let's start here. Judah and his wife had 3 sons named Onem, and Shelah. The pronunciation is Diloteka, but stay with me, okay? So they had 3 sons, so they decided to get a wife for their oldest son, so they got him a wife, and the wife was named Tamar. So Tamar was now married to Or. However, Or did wickedness in the sight of the Lord, and God was not having that. He was not having that. So he decided to, cut him off, literally. He decided to to end his life because of the wickedness that he was doing, right? So I go to the wages of sin is death. So that's literally what happened to him. Because of his wickedness, God took his life. So according to the Jewish traditions or customs, I don't know what to call it, Jewish customs and traditions, the second born is now responsible for the wife, for Tamar. So the parents, Judah and his wife, were like to Omen. Omen is the second born. They are like to Omen, now that your brother is no longer here, it is your responsibility. It is your responsibility to birth offsprings for your brother, because he left without any offsprings. So that's what they told him. So Omen knew that, I'm going to use my mirror to look there. Omen knew that none of these kids that he'll be making with Tamar will be his. Ne? So every time he had sexual relations, he would literally spill his semen on the ground. True story. He would literally do that. So this is where most people, they'll make reference to this scripture when you ask about control and family play and stuff like that. You know, they'll say, oh, it is wrong, but they're forgetting the context. Anyways, Hakimu, they're forgetting the context. So Owen would literally spill his semen on the ground every time he had intercourse with Tamar, and the Lord was not happy with him. He saw this as wickedness in his sight. So what did God do? The wages of sin is death. So Liena amusupisa libika, same time, because of the wickedness that he was doing in the sight of the Lord, right? So later on, so now Judah is left with a young son, Sheila, I don't know how to pronounce his name. He's left with a young son, and now because he is young, Judah is like, yo, Tamar, I think you should go back home to your father's household and remain there as a widow. Until this young boy has grown, then he can take over, then he can be your husband. Kabang. Nahana fela. So Tamar took his widow's clothing, I think it's called widow's clothing. Yeah, widow's clothing, and then he went back to his father's house. Mind you, Judah was only saying that, to show face. He was actually lying. He was not intending on giving Tamar Sheila, because he was like, 2 of my kids are already gone because of this girl. What if I lose the other one? So he was really not intending on giving his son to Tamar. So Tamar wamudimu abatamaya, and then she went back home after a long time. Like, yo, at this point, Sheila, yo, wabude, he's a grown man. Okay, he is a grown man, and like Judah did, he was not really intending on giving. Is comment we continue. He was not really intending on giving Tamar Sheila, because he was like, yo, Mtanam, he's going to pass away. Like his brothers. Guys, remember the disclaimer. I am not a makeup person. I don't know what I'm doing. But we are doing something, okay? So after a long time, Judah lost his wife as well. At that time, Sheila is a grown man. He can now marry Tamar, but because Judah was not willing to take the risk, he was like, I am not giving up my son. And then Tamar was kind of aware, I should be called back to my in-laws at this time, because Sheila also ale more. So after a while, after Judah has grieved his wife, he was like, Ish, let me go up to Timnah. He went to Timnah, where they were going to share his sheep. So he had a lot of sheep, he had a lot of livestock. So to share your sheep name, let me school you guys. To share your sheep is basically to cut off the wool. It's nothing deep. So it's basically to cut off the wool ne. So he went up to Timnah, and then when he he went up to Timnah, and then word arrived to Tamar Horela, your father-in-law is heading to Timnah. Okay, so Tamar was like, this is it Tamar? Tamara, guys, it's Tamara. I think it's because I like Tamar Braxton. It's Tamara, guys. It's Tamara. Anyway, so she went up to Timnah, where she took off her widow clothing, and then she put on a veil to cover her face, because back in the day, at least the prostitutes had shame. They covered their faces, unlike Bambuna. So that's what happened. So Tamar took her stuff, and then she went to Timnah, where she would now present herself as a prostitute to her father-in-law. You are still with me, right? To her father-in-law. So she did that. She then Judah, the father-in-law, because he saw Tamara, and he was like, girl, let me sleep with you. And Tamara was like, and what will you give me for sleeping with you? Okay. And he was like, I will send through a young goat as payment for this transaction. And Tamar was a smart girl. What are you going to leave as a pledge while I wait for your goat to come? And then he was like, I don't know. What can I give you? So Tamar saw that he had his staff, caught, and I forgot that other thing. He had 3 things with him. So he was like, leave me those 3 things, and then I will give them back to you once you have presented me the goat. And Datao, he was like, no wahala, let's get down to business, right? So that is how Tamara slept with her father-in-law. That's how she slept with her father-in-law. I hope you're still counting, because she slept with her original husband, then with the brother. Now she's sleeping with the father-in-law. A whole father-in-law. So she slept with the father-in-law, and after sleeping with the father-in-law, she took the stuff and the coat and the other thing that I forgot what it's called. She took it, and then he was like, I'll be sending through a young goat as a payment for this transaction we just did. So after he left, Tamara took the stuff and the coat and put back her widow's clothing and went back to her father's house. She was like, I am not doing this, okay? So after that, the next day, the next day, Judah was like, he sent his I'm sure it's his friend or something. He sent his friend through, and he's like, listen, I need you to send these things to the prostitute in Timnah, and she will give you my stuff, So he went to try to find Tamara. Is it Tamara? Yeah, I forgot. Tamara. So so he went with the young goat looking for the prostitute everywhere, and then he couldn't find her. He asked around too. He searched high and low. He asked around, and there was like, we have never had a prostitute in this specific area. Maybe you are looking for somebody else. So he came back with the report, and the young shipper, I searched high and low. They are saying there is no body of that description here. There is no one of that description here. So just keep your stuff and go about your day. So he was like, It's okay. I think he even forgot that he had left some of his things there with the prostitute, which is his daughter-in-law. So 3 months later, news come to him that that Tamara, the daughter-in-law, is pregnant and then she'll be stoned to death. So Lelo, he comes screaming along, saying, yeah, how can she do such a thing? You know? And then Tamara was like, take this coat and stuff and show it to my father-in-law and see if he recognizes them. And tell him how the person who owns these things is the one responsible for my pregnancy. Dun, dun, dun. Is the one responsible for my pregnancy. So as soon as he saw the stuff and the court, he was speechless, and he said that Tamar was more honorable than he could ever be. So the plan of killing her came to an end that day, and then she went back to live with Judah, and she had a set of twin boys. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? I look like a ghost. That's all I can say. I look like a ghost. Yeah, that's how the story ends, and my makeup looks horrible, if I should say so myself. I have never done this type of Mudimaga. Jehovah Jireh. I don't know. It looks horrible. Anyways, that is the end of this crazy story that is literally in your Bible, Genesis 38. So do take some time out this week to read more, the whole chapter 38. It is hot, it is juicy, it is full of tea. If you enjoyed this segment, do the right thing by clicking the subscribe button below. Remember to like, comment, share, and very importantly, to subscribe. I love you so much for watching, and God bless you. Don't mind me. Bye.